So in this tutorial, we're quickly going to go through some of the basic functionalities from the menu onto the first pivot. Let's go to this one here. It's called volume month-to-date and year-to-date performance. And in here, you will find at a customer SKU level, current year performance for the month. You can see here on the light red, that's all the month measures. And then the darker red to the right, you'll see there that we've got year-to-date numbers in here. The data in here is normally a day old, which means if today is the 25th, you will find data in here up to the 24th. It is sourced from Insight, sort of reporting tool that sits on top of SAP. Also, remember we said that we are working in Power Pivot. What Power Pivot does, when you click for the first time on one of the drop downs, it will actually load, as you can see here at the bottom, it will load this pivot's information into cache of the computer. In simple terms, it's a memory of the computer that is much faster than having to read it from the hard drive. So there will be that little bit of a delay that you saw now before the first menu item pops up here. But you'll see from that point on, it's pretty fast. You can see you can drop down any one of these menus now, and it's pretty instant, depending on the speed of your computer, of course. So let's start with what these pivot items mean and give you a good understanding of what you're going to find in each of them. From the first one, called call type, if you drop this down, you'll see that this is the different methods of selling that we capture in the different countries. Most of us are using the root sell and pre-sell options. For now, we've switched off by default the intercompany and interbottler volume. The next one is the volume measures. You can switch between physical cases, unit cases, and then also transactions. The period range by default is selected to month to date. You have the ability to switch on the remainder as well if you want to see the full previous year volume. Alright, weekday, self-explanatory day. Then you'll see these sort of brown ones, orangey brown ones. Those are the customer dimensions. So plant, sales office, it's all the geographical locations. Countries also the same color. Then from a person point of view, who's responsible for these kind of outlets of volume, you'll see that they are in these sort of purplish blue colors. And then the product information itself is split up into the light blue. Now, how you interact with a pivot, it's a simple drag and drop. If you want to put country up and just drop it, I'm going to select one country here as an example. I'm going to use Namibia as an example. And let's bring down one of the product attributes, brand owner as an example, that you can see what's lying underneath that. You can see where I drop it in B13. It makes a little square around that B13. If you drop it there, it puts the brand owner into the row section of the pivot. So now I can see what is my Coca-Cola based volume and what is the Monster Company volume and outlets penetrated and so forth. You can also drag multiple items into your row field. You'll see now the second one. Let's go by category. I'm going to pull category just to the right of brand owner. You can see the sort of longish line shape that it does here. That means it's going to be the next item in your row area. If I drop it there, I can now see in the KO brand owner category what are the different NRTD categories. Right? If we take a country like Uganda, you'll see some other brand owners also kicking through because they've already started with the Campari and Distell. The quickest way to restore this pivot into its original format is to simply use the undo button, especially if you pulled in 5 or 6 of these. There we have it in its original state. Another handy tip also, if you're going to do a lot of things with a pivot and you don't necessarily want to change this one that you're on, you can simply copy this sheet. The shortcut is just while you have your mouse hovering over it, hold the control button down and then hold your mouse button down, and you'll see that little extra booklet that shows on the mouse means it's in copy mode now. I can simply drag it to where it makes that little arrow and release the mouse while holding in control. The good news is this file will live on your laptop or on your computer, so you can't break it. If you do, then just simply download a new version of it. Lastly, I'm just going to go quickly through what we are actually measuring in this particular pivot. We are first of all for the month. Remember, as we said, the light red piece at the top here, this is for the month to date because it's selected there as month to date. We can see how many outlets have purchased directly from us previous year and how many outlets have bought from us this year so far in this month. Right, the next measures are the volume. So whatever volume measure you have selected there would show here, current year, previous year. It would show you the variance and also the percentage variance versus prior year. It's got very similar then for budget, and then it shows your current year variance versus budget and current year percentage variance. The last three columns are simply the contribution for current year, previous year and budget. Right, so whatever you have here on the left in your row area would be expressed here as a contribution. Further to the right, you've got exactly those same measures, but just on a year-to-date basis. Now, year-to-date in this context means all the completed months, as well as the month-to-date performance that you've seen on the left, added to that year-to-date. So it's year-to-date up to and including yesterday for most of the countries. Why I'm saying most of the countries, some like the islands and Equator in Kenya still have manual data which we load on a daily basis into BW, and that happens sometimes a day or so in arrears. But for the majority of the countries and entities, it is up to and including the day before. Alright, that is the pivot navigation in a nutshell. Again, if there's any questions, give me a shout or send me a mail and we can discuss.